Men of Reddit. What do women do that they think is okay but is actually creepy? Story 1. Perving on men. So many times in the workplace, I have heard women say what they would like to do to a certain man, almost drooling in public. If a man said the same comments, they would be fired. Story 2. Speaking possessively about their male friends and claim men that they see most often when they think men can't hear. Story 3. Shame you when you're 18. To young guy models and whatnot on social media. Any guy would be torn a new a-hole if you were to say that. Yet it's totally acceptable for women. Story 4. This happened like 3 times in high school. Girl calls you attractive as their way of calling you ugly. You know, like some weird sarcasm/reverse psychology thing. One of those times, 2 girls were walking behind me in the hallway. One taps on my shoulder. So I turn around and she says she thinks you're cute. Then the other girl says she wants to suck your D. I just told them I have a girlfriend because 1, I do, and 2, I know what they're doing. Story 5. You break up a relationship, and her friends proceed to come after you like angry mobs for it. Story 6. One of my high school teachers got the Snapchats of the good-looking boys in her classes. She would talk to them about how her husband wasn't treating her right and how she was going to divorce him. Might have been okay if she got to be friends with all the kids in her classes. Story 7. Tell me that almost 2-year-old son is so handsome and going to break hearts / be a lady killer if rolled up to a park and told a mom how good-looking her daughter was and that all the boys are going to want her. They'd call the cops. Story 8. I'm an attractive guy. I was a bartender and served tables for quite a while. The crap women say and get away with saying is unreal. Women are just as bad as men when it comes to harassment. Story 9. When women say things like, if I were 10 years younger about underage boys, it's creepy, gives off pedo vibes, and if the genders were reversed, you'd call the FBI. Story 10. You have to install this GPS tracking up on your phone so I know where you are any time I want to check. That's a serious trust issue. Yes, it is annoying. Story 11. Honestly, hands down women who exploit emotions of men. We may not all cry in the middle of a movie theater, but we are not incapable of experiencing deep, painful emotional wounds. In general, it seems to be more acceptable for women to rag on guys for our image, like our height, weight, or income, while the flip side being that men cannot criticize women without being a pig. So yay, women who nitpick guys for superficial reasons are creepy, arrogant, and covered with more red flags than a game of Minesweeper. Story 12. Always asking if I got flirted with no matter where I go. Did anyone flirt with you? What the hell? It's flag football. Story 13. Maybe not creepy, but stop pulling on my beard and arm hair like the crap is seriously uncomfortable, and pulling out a beard hair stings like hef. It's literally attached to my face. You are in my personal space, tugging my hair and causing me pain. Ladies, I don't care how fun it is. Please stop or I'll make fun of your eyebrows. Please stop or I'll make fun of your eyebrows. Hey you, this man is not playing around. Story 14. Thinking it's okay to hug at the workplace or touch your leg/arm when talking, then getting upset when some poshmo thinks they are interested in them. How about no one touch each other at work? Story 15. Man, y'all are in some unhealthy relationships. Story 16. This is only really for the gay men out there, I think, but having a girl instantly label you as her gay best friend as soon as she finds out you're gay. Like B, I don't even like you. Story 17. Preparing dubious elixirs and potions in an old cottage in the forest. Story 18. Being hypocritical about sexism here about guy hitting girl. What an a-hole here about girl hitting guy. Well, what did he do? Older man hitting on much younger woman. What a creep. Older woman hitting on much younger man. You get it. Girl making small p times is jokes. Funny making fat jokes about men. Funny making short jokes about man. Funny making any jokes about a woman's appearance. Story 19. Tickling and getting peed when don't like it. Girl, I don't like getting tickled. I really hate it. I don't care that it's some way to show affection. I don't want it. And for F's sake, it's not my problem. And I don't have to man up and take it. Story 20. Wife bragged to friends about our intimate life. We live in a small town, and now it feels like everywhere I go, I'm being giggled and smiled at. It's really violating. Story 21. I don't know if it's just me, but the baby voice plus behavior really puts me off. You know what you don't like men doing? Not exclusively a woman thing, but my ex would screenshot our text conversations and send them to her family and friends for reaction. Like mundane conversations. Not even anything interesting. It felt like a very creepy violation of my privacy. Also, she was an idiot. Hope you see this, Laura. Story 22. I have a friend that whenever she starts dating, a guy just lists me off things about the dude, like she's listing a resume. Never anything about the personality or sense of humor or what characteristics about them she enjoys. It's job, career, College, earnings house. I had to tell her it was getting creepy because it just sounds like she's getting a checklist to impress people, not find a good person for her. Story 23. Late to the party, but I haven't seen this mentioned yet. Distributing nudes they got from guys to their friends without permission. I've got several women doing it, and they'll argue about it if you ask to stop. Yet another example of it only being an issue. If the genders are reversed, that's illegal. You could press charges for that girl or boy. Story 24. Double standards on H is times sexual harassment. Story 25. Talk like a child. Story 26. Perhaps not creepy, but I went to a metal concert too, which I had planned to go alone. My girlfriend then suggested one of her female friends go with me. I was relatively indifferent and just said that, yeah, as long as she likes the music, why not get to know the people you spend time with? Fast forward 1 week during the concert. My girlfriend gets jealous of the friend she invited to go with me, calls me constantly, asks if I made out with her friend, and threatened to break up. I was hard-pressed not to laugh. The plan seems to have been to send someone to keep me under a lens, which backfired on account of the next layer of her trust issues. Story 27. The way girls share really personal things about guys in relation to intimacy. Society and the media would have you believe that guys talk about doing it all the time and just objectify the women that they've slept with. I don't know if maybe I'm just hanging out with the wrong people, but honestly, the most who usually get out of a guy is just that they did it with a girl, and the only time we discuss details are when you're just like trading stories. But girls tend to like immediate reports on things to their friends and share details that honestly could be embarrassing or uncomfortable for the guy. It makes me really uncomfortable and creeped out to think that if I sleep with a girl, I have to just accept that all of her friends are going to know every detail about the experience, size, performance, how long it lasted, how I look. It just feels like a huge breach of privacy. Story 28. Not creepy, but when a woman sees a single dad with his kid and feels it's okay to tell them they're doing great. I get they may feel like they're being supportive or whatever, but the stigma behind guys not knowing how to raise a child is infuriating. I have 50/50 custody of my child, and she's raised brilliantly by both me and her mom. I can guarantee mom never gets random praises just for walking through a shop with our child though. It's not supportive. It's condescending as hell, and please stop. Edit. I've seen a few comments about accepting compliments. My daughter is an absolute delight and always gets genuine compliments from passerby. These I take with pride and a smile. The problem is from the people who approach in shock to see a dad alone with his kid and think he's either babysitting or just lost without a woman to tell him how to raise his kid and needs a patronizing pat on the back. Edit 2. Just to clarify, I always respond with a smile and thank you regardless of the way I'm approached. Story 29. I've had this happen a few times, but I don't know if it's more common or less common. When I go to a bar for a drink on, say, a Friday night, I usually go with friends. I'll head to the bathroom, and sometimes the bar will be crowded, so I'll have to slip through a group of people several times. I'll get rubbed or caressed by women, sometimes on the groin, sometimes on the chest or shoulders. It's not wanted, nor am I signaling I want to be touched. Just saying, excuse me, and going past it bothers me every time. Story 30. Touching me when you're a complete stranger. I'm in really good shape, and the amount of women who would touch my arms, shoulders, and chest when I'm out was too high. Story 31. Straight girls who go to gay bars to be all like yes, queen, you, and straight girls who go to lesbian bars and get offended when a girl hits on them. Edit. Thanks for the upvotes. I know what a RIP inbox means now, LMAO. Edit 2. I'm on Reddify. Story 32. Asking password to social accounts or phone. Ask their friends to give them explicit details on their intimate encounters, especially if it's with a BF. Story 33. Went out with a group of guys last weekend. There were 6 of us, and this random girl started hanging around us like a lost puppy and just wouldn't leave. She was attractive, but so obviously desperate for attention that none of our group of guys really cared to give her any. This girl was just looking at everyone, batting her eyes, and trying to hug everyone. But the guys were just pawning her off on each other. Not sure if this is pathetic, more than creepy, but if a guy do the same thing, he'd be labeled with creepy. So yeah, she was creepy to me. I honestly thought she was a hooker or something, trying to sell services or some crap the way she was approaching dudes. It's not F times king normal, probably trying to get free drinks. Story 34. Going to pride events, / gay bars and groping the men, whether they like it or not. Like if up. Story 35. This might be a cultural thing for Latinos, but there were some weird, Intimate comments said by female family members to my son when he was a toddler. They would call him my boyfriend and ask for kisses in a very aggressive way. When I changed his diapers, they'd stand around and say, "Quien es ese pipi?" which roughly translates to "whose is that?" which led me to always change his diaper in a private room. Even when told that you can do it here, it's okay. We're all family. One of my aunts even commented on how his D has grown since he was a baby. Yeah. His whole body has grown. There's no need to talk about his P times is specifically. Step away from my child. I guess this is all done in a cute or innocent way, but I never liked it. Story 36. Being way too open about their intimate life. Story 37. Unwanted physical contact. Was out to dinner with a bunch of friends. Coincidentally, they were all women, and the waitress was hitting on me, which involved obvious compliments, which I don't care about, and putting her hands all over my shoulders and upper chest. We all had to laugh about it after, but I was seriously weirded out by it. And were the genders reversed, I guarantee no one would have been laughing about it. Story 38. Making a new social media account after I block. Story 39. You as a gay guy, women seem to think that it's okay to touch me in a general way, and sometimes even in a more inappropriate way. Lady, I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. Sure, we had a nice brief conversation, but don't touch me. Don't wrap your hands around my legs so you can gawk at the size of my legs. Don't squeeze my pec or think that I want a hug despite never having met you before. I'm avoiding physical contact not only to be respectful of your boundaries, but because I also have boundaries I don't want you to violate. Consent works both ways. Always don't touch me. Story 40. Ex demanded I take down a single picture of a platonic female friend who I have known over a decade and who is happily married to a mutual friend of ours. Said picture was part of a cluster of 8 total. Story 41. Social media stalking is a little crazy, especially from stuff before I met you. Story 42. Touch my butt without consent. Sometimes I just be performing my respiratory responsibilities and feel that slight touch to my butt. And now I'm uncomfortable and confused because I'm too scared to turn around and find out who dared touch my precious bum. Story 43. I'd wager that most women wouldn't do this and wouldn't think it is okay. But my now ex-girlfriend went through my phone without asking for permission. In my experience, not necessarily a majority, but not unusual. Story 44. How has nobody mentioned this? It's definitely not most women, but it does happen sometimes. Get peed off if you are not in the mood for intimacy. Like, WTF. You're a man. You always want to do it. Do not like me anymore. No, Andrea. I was just not H times need that day, and yes, I liked you a lot. Holy crap. Story 45. Thanks for the gold, stranger. Disregard consent with gay male friends. Story 46. When she wants to know my Reddit username, completely unhealthy. Setting up traps to test us, being upset with something we did / said in your dreams. Lying to our faces when we ask direct questions like what is wrong, how are you, etc. Edit. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. Seems I hit a few nerves with this comment, all of which have affected us in different ways. Story 47. A few of my relationships have ended because my GF wouldn't talk to me about an issue in our relationship, which is weird because supposedly that's a male trait. I just don't like confrontation. Well, the alternative is that I'm breaking up with you now because you've avoided talking to me about the issues for a few months when I keep trying to bring it up. So, edit. Everyone asked, how is this creepy? It's not. I wrote this on 4 hours of sleep. I thought this was just a what do girls do in relationships. That's annoying type thread. Funny how I got gilded though. Never been gilded for being so off topic before. Story 48. Women invading men's personal space, but then proceed to freak out when men invade theirs. Story 49. Basically crappy double standards. They grab you and giggle like it's okay. Also lying by saying they have a boyfriend / husband even though you have stalked their FB page and know damn well they don't. Devil's advocate to the second point, a man who won't leave you alone and gets aggressive when you tell him you're just not interested. Story 50. Pretending you're dumber or more incompetent than you really are. For some reason, getting pregnant on purpose to trap the guy into either 14 marriage or 18 years of a paycheck. Story 51. My best friend's psychopathic forced him to destroy his iPhone 7 because she found texts he sent to another student in his class about the subject material. Story 52. Getting free drinks from guys in which they have admittedly zero interest in getting to know. Also, crush crabs. Story 53. Flirting with me like I had an ex that used to take pictures of me when I sleep because I looked cute. I'd see if I looked F times king cute. That's some weird crap. Story 54. Asking us if we want to buy them a drink. The last time I was out, a girl had asked me this and I felt disrespected. She was extremely attractive, but opening up conversation by asking if I want to buy you a drink is not appreciative. It made me feel like she thought I was a buster or something. Not all of us like to spend money on random girls just for a chance to talk to them. Story 55. Creating a fake Instagram user with their group of friends and stalking guys through it. Story 56. Also hitting a guy and then behaving like a toxic feminist extremist when he hits you back. Story 57. Stalking on social media. Story 58. Developing feelings to justify bad behavior or poor conduct. Story 59. Interrogation. Story 60. Hair spiders on the shower walls. Story 61. Glamorizing the male body at work or in other non-casual situations. I've had coworkers speculating about the size of other coworkers' genitals in front of me. Talking about nude scenes of favorite actors, talking about marital aids, etc. If a guy was similarly casual about intimacy, it would be considered highly inappropriate, but women seem to get away with it as innocent fun. You should join in. Yeah, big C, but I bet Jeff has a really dirty butthole. Story 62. Women that call you daddy. Mate. Story 63. Assume our money is now their money. I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but if you marry her, she'll wait for you to die so she can inherit all your hard-earned wealth. Story 64. Unpopular opinion identify themselves as a single mother. Story 65. Being overly eager to share certain personal details with each other, like, look at my boobs, is one noticeably bigger than the other. Also an ex who I had maintained a friendship with for a short time after the breakup. We would still talk once in a while. She called me and asked if I wanted to hang out. I said, sure, I'm home, come over whenever. And she replied, okay, I'm already outside. I didn't keep answering those calls for very long. Also, some girls talk like children. Baby talk and think it's cute. I'm in my 30s. I don't want to feel like a pedophile. Thank you. You're also in your 30s and know how to speak properly. It's not cute. It's creepy. Story 66. Making a new social media account after I block you. Story 67. Here's another one, forcing your husband/SO to have a shared FB profile with you. We all know that means Dave cheated. Susan, either forgive him or dump him and move on. Don't have a grown man tethered to your front porch like some insecure sow. You should both be embarrassed. Story 68. Catcalling. It's as creepy and unsettling, albeit usually flattering as well for men as it is for women. In the same vein, anything women think is creepy when done to them is probably creepy if done to men too. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.